everybody? It's your boy Miko, aka Alex, aka the original Yiffmeister, and I'm here to make donuts. Welcome to my new show, Be Gay, Food Crimes. So, little bit of background. Back in 2014, I was doing Let's Plays on Something Awful, and I did Cooking Mama, where I did Cooking Mama over here, and then I did Real Food over here, and I kind of spliced it all together. I kind of miss it. Let's Plays are fine, but honestly, I need to do something different for a little bit. So, and it's hard to get people in one place to record. It's not so easy. So, we're going to make some donuts, just because donuts are good. They're good to have. They're enjoyable to eat, I think. So that's it. Let's give it a shot.
Oh, wow.
Hey, yeah, we're here. Hey,
Howdy.
what's up, Mike? Look at all the
Hey.
shit you need.
You do need a lot. Well, I don't know if you need all of that, but you do need a lot of it.
You need all of the shit. So,
So you're making yeast donuts, right, and not cake
yes,
ones?
yes, yeast donuts.
That is a relevant conversation to have.
Yeah.
Because there is a big difference. Personally, I prefer yeast donuts. I would say a good cake donut is good, but even a bad yeast donut is usually better than
Yeah. So these came out pretty good. I was very happy with these. So I guess I'll just run down the ingredients real quick.
Hit me with this.
All right, 1 1/4 cup milk, 2 1/4 teaspoons of active dry yeast, or 1 package if you buy the packets.
Okay.
2 eggs, 8 tablespoons, which is 1 stick of butter. I don't know why they don't just say 1 stick. 1/4 a cup of granulated sugar, 1 teaspoon salt, 4 1/4 cups of all-purpose flour, and a little bit more for flouring your work surface.
Yep.
And a bunch of vegetable oil for frying.
Why are we temperature measuring the...
Because I have in the past accidentally killed my yeast by microwaving water too long. So I said never again, and I bought one of those laser thermometers, and the correct temperature for microwaving your milk is going to be like about 100 degrees, maybe 110.
So hit me with this. How many donuts is this recipe for, theoretically? Obviously, it's going to vary, but...
I already told you this, but so this donut recipe that I'm using says it makes 1 dozen donuts. In reality, it made like 22.
We'll get there. Wow, that's so... God, Jesus Christ, that's twice as many, practically.
Yeah. Okay, so step 1 is heat up your milk. Like 45 seconds in the microwave should be more than enough, and then
room temperature, right, is kind of where you want it.
A little warmer than room temperature. Like you're aiming for like 90 degrees Fahrenheit.
So you do want to activate the yeast.
Yeah, you want to activate the yeast. Set it aside for a couple of minutes. If you see bubbles, you're good.
Got it.
So don't do anything else until you see the bubbles. Otherwise, you will be very upset. Trust me.
You will have no rise at all.
Yes, I made that mistake with bread once. Oh, yeah. I have helpful donut facts throughout the video.
That is a good fact. It's good to know that. You might be on Twitter sometime and see that emoji, and it doesn't always mean donuts.
Yes. Sometimes it means a booty hole.
Frequently. I might even say it means a booty hole more than actual donuts, normally.
Yeah.
Wow, nice stand mixer bowl.
Thanks.
So clean.
Yeah.
What kind of a stand mixer you got, KitchenAid?
Yeah. Yeah, I got it for Christmas. It's good stuff.
Nice prep.
Thank you.
Wow, right into the trash can. Is your counter stainless steel? I guess I never noticed.
Yeah, so you've been in my apartment. So when I moved in, all the counter and the sink and the stove and everything's all on one side of the kitchen, and there's just like a blank wall on the other side.
Right.
So I bought a stainless steel prep table.
Oh, right.
Yeah, and it has made my life very nice because now I have room to put things.
The sugar, right?
Yeah, so that's the sugar. So you're gonna take the sugar, you're gonna mix it in with your eggs. By the way, crack your eggs, put them in the bowl. It's an important step.
Don't just put whole eggs in the bowl.
Yeah.
Shell is a nice texture, obviously.
Yeah,
but...
my advice for this is don't crack them on the edge of the bowl because that'll knock the shell into the egg, and then you gotta fish out shells with a spoon, and that's a bad time. Flat surface is the best way to do it, I think.
And better to just get your hand covered in some yolk than to get shell into
Yeah, because you don't want to be there like trying to fish out the eggshell.
Especially once you're mixing it with something dry like sugar, it's going to be stuck in there forever.
Yeah, you're never going to get it out. It's going to be impossible. So that's a hot tip I learned running breakfast at Panera Bread.
So this is your second take on this, right? You did
so I did a practice round the weekend before, and they came out pretty good. And then I was like, okay, well, I definitely overcooked these, so I need to fry them less. Was the main thing I learned.
So it's funny your timing on making this, because I just recently watched a professional chef's video of making donuts.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm interested to compare and contrast.
Okay, well, I took this recipe off of the New York Times food website.
Well, that's
So-
probably not too far off from what they
Yeah.
did, to be honest with you.
Okay, so once you've mixed all the sugar and the eggs together, you add the melted butter,
Mhm.
which you also don't want to be hot because it's gonna cook the eggs if it's too hot. So let it cool for a while.
Love egg donut.
Yeah, yeah, don't do that.
No, if you wanted to make an egg bagel, though.
Mm.
But that's an entirely different recipe. to be fair.
Maybe one day I'll make bagels. We'll see.
Bagels are hard.
Also,
Yeah.
I live in New Jersey, where I can find a nice bagel shop pretty much anywhere. So,
Look, West Coast people, we'll help you out eventually, maybe.
okay, so this is the milk and the yeast. So I saw bubbles. I didn't show them on camera because I forgot, but
But you can kind of see them
yeah,
when you were mixing it. So it's gonna look real funky at this step, for sure.
yeah. But
But-
that's because it's like the wet ingredients plus sugar. Like I
Right.
haven't added any of the actual flour yet.
As long as you don't see the egg cooking at all, and it is still a solid, like, liquidy consistency, you're fine.
Yeah, just don't make scrambled eggs in this bowl. That's really your goal.
Or make super sweet scrambled eggs that you'll hate. That's also a thing you can do.
That is something you could do, but you shouldn't. I think you shouldn't.
You gotta clean up your cat food, boy.
Yeah, I know.
Kitty.
She's a messy eater.
You know what? My dog does this thing where we give her dry food, and then she'll pick out the dry food from her bowl and put specific pieces down. Like, I don't want to eat. I'll eat this later.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Understandable. All right, you get your flour guard so that it doesn't make a huge fucking mess.
Which, no flour yet, but
Well, soon.
we'll get
So we
there.
need to lock it in place and then turn it on. My dough
So you
hook.
don't want to overmix this, right?
Right.
Artisan.
It'll start like pulling away from the sides of the bowl, which that's just a good dough technique in general.
Even with
When
just
it's
the
ready.
sugar? Okay.
No,
I
no,
see.
you
Okay,
need to
now
add.
got it.
Yeah, so basically, I'm gonna add about half the flour. I'm gonna let it mix for a little bit, and then I'm gonna add the rest.
You can add this even slower, but do not add it faster than this.
Yeah.
Like, if you just put all the flour in at once, it will turn into one big ball, and you will have to manually take it out and do some work on it. if you
Yeah, and
want
I'm
to,
doing
yeah.
I'm doing 1/4 a cup at a time because that just happened to be the dry measuring cup I had on hand
Mhm.
in arm's reach. So, and I think anything bigger, you see, I'm already kind of making a mess. Anything bigger would be way
Yeah,
worse.
it's not too bad.
Yeah.
Like, realistically, like, if you miss out on a little bit of flour or something, it's not going to be the end of the world.
Yeah.
You just want to get the ratios generally correct. Oh, wow. Oh,
Yeah, editing.
wow. Why don't we do this?
I did it for
in
San
all the-
Andreas, but it was a lot of work, is the thing. Yeah, so it should do that. It should
Mm.
just, like, fall off when you pick it up.
Good
That's
consistency.
that's
It
how
can
you
be
know what
maybe a little more, but it's good.
Yeah,
You're forming gluten? You're...
gluten, yes.
Yeah. I want to say that's right. It looks airy.
Yeah. You don't want it to be, like, dense. That's...
That's the problem with the
Yeah.
overmixing, is if you let it go too long, you're actually forming too much gluten, and it's just going to turn into, like...
Yeah,
Again, you're basically eating bagels at that point instead of donuts.
yeah.
Well-floured work surface.
Well, I could have floured it better, but...
You could have spread it out more, but it's enough flour,
Yeah.
is what I would say.
Camera is not in focus. Sorry about that. Whoops. Well, it's
First
focusing
video.
on my shirt. it's fine. So I'm just gonna just give it a little bit of a knead.
The main thing here, the reason the flour is there is not like, yo, you need to add more flour to this. It's just that, especially with working with a stainless steel surface like that, even though it usually...
Yeah, you don't want your dough to be sticking to the table.
Yeah, it'll usually be okay on a stainless steel surface, but even with a dough this eggy and everything, it's gonna stick if you're
Oh,
not
yeah.
careful. Yeah.
It's a very very wet dough.
Right, it's much more wet than making bread, straight up.
Yes.
Because it is not as much flour, it's much more egg and sugar and everything, so...
Yeah.
But you do need to work it a bit. You want to, again, forming the glutens, you want to make sure it has a chew You're still you
Yeah,
don't want to
you can
just
see where it when it rips. That's kind of what you're looking for when I'm needing it, because it's like it's not ripping right away. It's got like a little bit of a stretch to it before it rips.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, that's how you know it's good. And then I'm a little bit covered in dough, but that's
that
fine.
little boy right there.
Okay, so now this is gonna go sit and rise. So I'm gonna just take some cooking spray, cover this the steel bowl, canola oil, ShopRite. ShopRite and always save. That's what they tell me.
You can also, if you want, just flour the bottom of the bowl instead of using canola oil, but literally same process. It's just up to you.
Yeah, so I rub the spray around, plop the dough in there, cover it with plastic wrap, and then it goes in my oven with the oven off, but the light inside the oven on.
Interesting.
Yeah, because that'll keep it like a little warmer than room temperature.
Plastic wrap. This is really important. In that video that I was watching recently about them making this, they got to the step and they covered it trying to be sort of more environmentally conscious with a wet paper towel or a wet cooking towel.
So I've seen that as well. I don't know that that would necessarily work for the donuts.
I'm going to say you shouldn't.
Yeah.
Because you actually don't want it to be too moist. It's already a moist dough. You want it to be something like plastic wrap where it's going to actually keep the air largely out. Largely... Oh, I forget. Anyway.
Okay, so you
rose
can see the dough has risen a lot. I let it rise for about an hour, I think.
Oh, it's shorter than I would have thought, even.
Well, so I'm gonna cut the donuts and then they're gonna rise again.
Got it.
So that's why.
So do you, at any point in this recipe, do you fridge rise this or not?
No.
Interesting. That's very different.
Also, I don't have a rolling pin, but I do have a bottle of wine that my mother gave me. So, fuck it, whatever.
Look, if it works, it works. That's extra flavor right there. Sometimes you just want to get a little bit of that paper flavor in there,
Yeah, so that's true.
Look, if it so what do you want here? Like, half inch, quarter inch thick? I guess half inch probably. That doesn't
in terms of like height, you mean?
Yeah. Like you don't want to roll it out too thin.
I don't remember what they rose to. Honestly, it's probably like half an inch is what it ended up being. Everything said and done, but in terms of rolling it, I think I went like quarter inch.
Yep, this is a very important step. You're gonna let this rest longer, so you need to make sure.
Yeah, so I have two half sheet baking trays. I ended up using both of them
for all fucking insane amount of donut that you made.
Yeah, and then we're gonna cut them. We gotta cut them.
I'm super intrigued what you're gonna do here. Do you have
so I don't have any cookie cutters or anything.
That's kind of what I
But you know what I do have? I have drinking glasses and a shot glass.
I like it. Shot glass. Now, oh, I see. Oh, clever.
Yeah. Come on, bitch. There we go.
This will be. I might even, if you were gonna do it this way, what I might even do is take a little flour and dust it along the rim of the glass as you're doing this.
I was thinking of doing that, but like by the time I got to donut number 4, it stopped being a problem.
Sure. And in general, like it's probably not gonna be that big of a deal because it's glass, right? But if you want to really make sure it's not gonna stick, that would be the way to do it.
Right.
Wow, look at these bad boys. These are some nice chunky boy donuts right here.
Yeah, so it's already started like I rolled it out and now it's like shrinking back in and getting taller again.
Mm-hmm. This is a very quick rising.
Well, it's developed so much gluten that it's like snapping back into place.
Oh, interesting. We made the big hole donut.
Yeah, so
that's the shot glass problem right there. Theoretically, if you don't need, let's be clear, if you have the tools, use a cookie cutter and you can make much less ringy donuts. But these are for Sonic. Sonic needs a ring.
I didn't consider that.
You have to escape from the city.
Okay, but like, so do I need to put a chili dog in there?
Please do not put a chili dog in your donut.
What are we doing?
That's fucking gross.
Alright.
I won't be mad at you, but I will be upset.
Okay, fair. Alright, so this process is going to repeat until I have done that a bunch of times, and then we're going to fold the rest of this dough back up on itself and repeat until there is no dough left.
And again, when you're... So, yeah, like you said, you're going to do this process, and then you're going to take the remainder of the dough and fold it back together. But you want to be careful not to overwork it in that process, because yes, you're going to be combining all this dough back together, but if you really like put your shoulders into it and stuff as you're reworking it, they're going to be too much. So be gentle.
You're gonna
fold.
squeeze all of the air that you just created with the yeast out of the dough.
Yeah.
And you don't want that.
Fold, not.
Now, strangely enough, these first 3 donuts that I've cut, when I go back in to rise them again, they don't rise at all, and I don't know why.
Wow.
So if anybody knows why that is, tell me, so that I can address it.
Maybe you just need to let it rest a little. That's possible.
I don't know, because like the rest of the ones from like rows 2 and row 3 that I'm about to finish here, they rise fine. It's just those first 3.
Yeah, it literally might have just been letting it rest longer. And also, one of the things with this kind of a dough is that like usually what I have heard, but I mean you're not doing that, so who knows? But what I've heard is you don't want to let it get too warm. You usually want to work with it when it's still pretty cold. So,
I mean, because I made it warm to begin with like the warm milk and the warm butter, and then it has not been in the fridge at any point.
Not
since
so much
then,
like
so...
not even. I don't think it's a chemical thing. It's more just like it makes it easier to work with thing.
Okay.
Because you don't, you're not fighting it so much. It doesn't re-rise on you as much as you're working.
Yeah, that's interesting.
It.
Okay, that's good to know.
But I mean, look at all these donuts. This is a lot of donut right here.
Yeah. So like I said, I managed to get 22 donuts out of this.
Now, I will say, as you're going on here, you're making them thinner, for sure. I can see, based on what you're doing.
Yeah, but they rise more for some reason, and I don't know why.
Maybe this might be one of those
and
things.
And then this one, I'm like, I don't have enough. I need to fake it. So we're gonna.
This might be one of those
make this
where
one like a croissant.
You actually don't need to make them as thick as the original ones were. Maybe that is what it is, because they rise so much. Maybe all you really need to do is make them thinner like these, and they'll still rise just as much.
Yeah, I don't know. And then I get 1 donut hole out of it, which I generally use that to test my oil to make sure it is hot enough before I commit to doing the actual donuts.
Yeah, that makes sense. That little boy. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Look, it's fine. It's fine.
No, it has to be perfect.
Love me some granola oil. Please don't try to oil your granola.
No, I would recommend against that. Okay, so these are going to get covered in plastic wrap. They're going to go back in the oven for, I want to say 45 minutes?
I thought you were just about to do a shot right there, for sure.
I mean, I did one while we were recording this part, the voiceover part. So.
Delicious flour vodka. My favorite. And you do want a...
Also, you can tell the second sheet pan is new.
Yeah,
because it's not ruined.
It's really, yeah.
Yeah, I've maybe had this one for a month, and the other one I've had for quite some time.
And I think generally you do want a pretty tight seal on this, like.
I mean, I don't go crazy with
really?
it. I just cover it and I make sure that it's pretty well covered, and that's it.
Yeah, no, I just mean like you don't like. It's not just like lay the plastic wrap on top, like you're.
No, I gotta go.
Yeah.
You gotta go over the edges and under.
You're attempting to seal this to some extent.
Yes. Well, yeah, because if you let the air get to it, it's gonna dry out,
right.
and I don't want that.
We want
I
it
also
to
don't
rise.
want it to get any wetter than it is. Okay, so both of these back in the oven, light on, oven off. I think this was also different. 45. Yeah, this is 45 minutes. I have a PDF.
Oh, they did rise quite a bit.
Yeah. Okay, so now.
What kind of oil is this? Canola?
Vegetable.
Got it. Is this your deep fryer?
Yes, it's a Presto Fry Daddy.
Cute. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. What a name. It's cute. It's like.
But you know what? It's one of the most highly rated small deep fryers. So.
Is this like 2 donuts at a time? Because this does not look big.
1 donut.
Yeah, I was gonna say at most.
Oh no! Oh, this process takes a long time, my friend.
Oh baby. 22
but
donuts.
So each donut only fries for about 1:15 total.
Yeah,
so,
you don't. Yeah, so that's what you learned from the first time, right? Is you don't want to overcook them.
Yeah, it's fast.
You probably
And I
need
wait.
40 seconds on each side, kind of a thing.
So it's heating up. You can see it's not very hot. I shouldn't start yet, so I'm gonna wait.
Okay, we get it, Mr. Wow. I have a thermometer. So cool. Wow.
Shut the fuck up. Now we're talking.
You ever point that at your dick and see how hot your dick is?
It's body temperature normally.
Oh, so you have. Got it.
Yeah. So you want the oil to be about 375, and this particular deep fryer does not have a temperature control, so I just have to wait for it to get there.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
So one of the things about deep frying
And
stuff,
then you just
generally
slam it in there, let it go.
you want it to be at a consistent temperature when you're deep frying, meaning like because once you put something in a deep fryer, right, the temperature lowers.
Yes.
So you do have to watch this very like you cannot walk away from a deep fryer. You know what I mean?
No, you can't.
And you want the temperature to stay consistent, or else they're gonna cook all at very different rates, and you're gonna end up with some undercooked, some overcooked, etc.
Yeah. Feels like it's almost time to flip
Nice
this.
wire rack.
Thanks. It fits right inside the baking sheets.
I can see that. It's also very clean. Boop, boop.
Yeah,
See
so
how
if they
fast
deflate
that
a little
was?
bit
That
in
was
the
so fast.
Yeah, so if these guys deflate a little bit in the oil, that's fine because they're gonna puff up again. Don't worry about it. Look at how nice that golden brown
And
color
look,
is.
don't be
It's
mad
so good.
about bad donut shape. Like, yes, it's not a perfect shape. Yeah, you can cookie cutter it and make it in like really shape.
Yeah, but I'm gonna eat it, so I don't
right,
care.
but it's
fine.
gonna go in you. If you give someone this donut,
yeah.
they're not gonna be like, oh no, this donut didn't look perfect. They're gonna be like, oh fuck, I'm eating a donut right now and it's fresh. It does look a little bit embryo-ish though, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay,
oh
so
my.
wire rack to
Look
cool.
how-
Repeat the process
God,
22 times.
That happens so look at how it immediately hardened up like that. Wow, it's so
Yeah.
amazing. God. Red is cool.
Yeah. So then, also be careful if you use a metal spatula like that because it will be extremely hot for being in the oil. And I did burn my finger a little bit on the first run.
So, let me ask you a question. Around how long do we were you letting these cool?
Once I finished the last one, just long enough to make the glazes.
Yeah, but let's say from the first one to so normally, so it depends on what kind of topping you're doing, right? Because let's say you're just dusting some shit over it, right? Because that is a thing that people will do is they'll be like, oh, I'm just gonna dust some cocoa powder, sugar, kind of a thing.
Yeah, if you do like a powdered sugar donut.
You need to do that
or-
right away while the
Yeah.
oil is still hot. But if you're doing a glaze, you have more time.
Yeah, I'm doing glazes, so it doesn't matter.
But if you do a glaze, like if depends on what you're doing again, but if you do it earlier, if you put it on relatively quickly after it's done frying, it will set more than if you put it on later.
Okay. That's good to
Like
know.
that's good for like a God, I'm blanking on what it's called, but like a Krispy Kreme type like sugar glaze, right? Like a lot of times if you do that later, you're gonna have this very like it sits on top of the donut, but it comes off when you bite it.
Okay, yeah, so I do two glazes. I do half chocolate, half maple. Maple kind of had this problem.
So
that's good to know.
because that's so much sugar and it's not as thick, you put it on early and it will just like set on the donut.
Yeah.
That was a little
See, we're just about done.
donuts.
Time-lapse photography is wonderful.
Damn, I want to eat some donuts right now.
Mm.
Hey, pro.
Good news, Dunkin' Donuts is open
Yeah,
24
right.
hours.
Hey, pro tip. Your
Oh, speaking of Dunkin' Donuts.
your donut wire rack is full, and pro tip, you're gonna want somewhere to store those when it's. One thing you can do. So this is related to what I was just talking about. If you want to keep your donuts, sort of still oily, hot temperature to put stuff on them, and you can't apply it while you're in the cooking process. You don't want to like stop the cooking process to apply it. You can oven very low temp. I'm talking 200. Like
Oh, okay.
and
All
put
right.
them on a tray in the oven 200. Don't leave them for like half an hour. But if you're only leaving them for 10-15 minutes while you finish the rest of the donuts, you should be okay.
Okay, yeah, it makes sense. So you can tell my oil temperature has dropped, and now it's taking longer.
To be fair, that's also a fatty donut right there. That is a big boy.
Yeah, so I'm checking my temperature. You can kind of see all the like loose flour that has collected on the bottom of the deep
So
fryer.
a lot of people with stuff like this, when they're frying, especially like bread and stuff like that, they do a lot of, oh, I need to replace the oil after a while. I'm gonna be real with you. That is super duper not necessary if you're cooking at home.
You get some cheesecloth.
Yeah,
You're good. Just filter out the crumbs and you're set.
Which, don't pour hot oil into a cheesecloth you're holding in your hand.
No, cold.
But
wait for it to cool, definitely, and do like put some cheesecloth
batch
in
at a
like a
time,
colander,
right,
and then over like a bowl, and then and then clean out the oil, and then wash your deep fryer while the oil's sitting in the bowl, and then you're good.
But you can use this oil again, and it will not be an issue.
Yeah, I would say the only time you shouldn't do that is if like you deep fry like fish or shrimp or something.
I might even just go say if you're deep frying anything that's like got a filling, right? Like a meat or a veg or something, it's gonna get a little weird. You should just be more aware.
Yeah, that's the oil's gonna.
But you're also not deep frying 20 something things usually of this size with filling. So
yeah, normally I'm doing like French fries, which have really no flavor of their own.
Frenchy fry. Wow.
Yeah,
Slam
so
donuts. Let me get a donut. Right
Come
now.
on and slam.
Oh. So one thing I will say is that if you're looking, we're talking homemade donuts right now, so this is not going to be perfect. But if you're looking for a very like particular, like you want to really make the perfect donut, which is one thing you want to look for generally. Clearly, you would want to make the hole smaller, but also the side of the donut. Usually, what you're looking for is there will be a line that is around the center of the outside of the donut, all the way around. When you flip, which will show that the center is not like overdone. It's really hard to do. This like that would require a lot of practice and whatever, but. Trust me, these are just looking at them. Even if you eat this donut, it's not like this is not a S+ double extra perfect donut. You're still gonna fuck up a breakfast with this donut. Like oh, look at that! God, look at that one second from the left on the bottom. Oh my god! That is a D&D donut right there. That is so good.
Yeah. Okay, so get that out of there. We're done.
So is that an electric fryer? It is, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, so now we're gonna make the
second batch looks even better on the right.
Yeah. For some reason they rose more.
Yeah.
I don't know.
You know what?
Why?
I think it's just a time thing.
But
the longer you leave them, the longer they're gonna rise.
I forgot I wrote that.
It's when late stage capitalism proves unsustainable. So always. So at all times. Yeah, got it.
Yep.
So what do we got here?
True.
Is this sugar? Powdered sugar?
Yeah, so this is powdered sugar. So I didn't... Shit, did I open the recipe for the glazes? I did, okay.
Professional.
So, the base for the glazes is the same. So it's gonna be 1.5 cups of powdered sugar. And then, because the chocolate one uses chocolate powder, we're gonna use less milk on that one than we do with the maple.
Oh, this is fascinating. Yeah. This is not what I would have thought for these glazes at all.
Yeah, so just, it's, I think it's 3 tablespoons milk that I do for the chocolate, and then 2 tablespoons for the maple.
How does it stick? I don't understand.
You'll see. Because when it mixes with the fucking sugar, it just becomes a nasty...
We don't... Wow.
No. Not even a little.
I'm learning so many things right now. Is this maple syrup here?
Yeah.
Oh no, this is okay. Milk.
This is the milk.
Milk.
So I realized I should do the milk first since I need to also use the tablespoon.
That's so much less milk than I would have thought, too. I guess that's what makes it not runny.
Yeah. And even this, I think, might have been too much.
Wow.
Milk.
Okay.
In retrospect, I might have done
Was this too much sugar, or did
milk.
you think it was good?
I thought it was good.
Oh yeah, the extra maple syrup, that's just good for you. That's healthy. Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
You know how milk makes your bones strong? That's a lie. Maple syrup actually makes your bones strong.
Yeah, so I think it was for the chocolate glaze, 4 tablespoons of unsweetened like Hershey's cocoa powder, and then I think I did 4 tablespoons of maple syrup there. I lost count.
I think it was 4. There's plenty of sugar in that cocoa syrups or cocoa powder, so
yeah. So this is gonna stick.
Well,
to the
also
donut
point being
well.
like you don't need sugary cocoa for that. You know, you don't need to put Swiss Miss in there.
Right.
It's already gonna be sweet.
Well, like chocolate and maple syrup might be
so
too much.
good.
It was the maple came out
Look at that
so
texture
good.
on it.
My favorite. Yeah. All right, so now we're just gonna dip them.
Dip them and slip them. Are you gonna do both sides?
No,
What if you did? Extra?
I don't. I didn't make enough glaze to do both sides. I made what I thought was gonna be enough glaze to do 12 donuts.
Okay, so if you look at that donut right there, you can actually see the line. That one's a little overcooked, but you can see what I'm talking about on that donut, where there's a center line showing you. That is something you want to look for when you're making these. Oh, that brown one. That's my donut. That's the overcooked one that I'm gonna slam.
Yeah, I did fuck up one of them.
You know what? No one will know
that's fine.
because this glaze is. Oh,
Yeah,
look
ooh,
at that!
yeah.
Oh my god! Wow, how I can't believe how well it's set. That's crazy.
Oh, the chocolate set really well. The maple, as time went on,
it's sugar,
kept
so
dripping.
if it was warm in there, yeah.
Yeah.
That top,
You can see some of it hit
that
the
top
tinfoil
left one
below.
though on the maple is looking,
Mm.
and that's donuts, man.
Mm. Oh, the
Yeah.
video's over. Shit. Okay, well, thank you for
Thank
joining
you
me.
for eating donuts.
You're welcome.